important to not only be able to measure things properly, but to also be able to convert those measurements from one unit to another. And in fifth grade, we're not so worried about changing things from the metric system to the US customary system, but within its own system. So we'll be talking about which measurements we use for which things. So for volume in the US metric system, our standard liter of our standard unit is a liter. And in the US or in the metric system, everything is based off of the kilo, hecto, deca, standard unit, deci, centi, milli kind of format. And this very much works the same way that our number system works, where a liter, you can kind of think of that as your ones. The deca is like your tens. Hecto is like your hundreds. Kilo is like 1,000. So for every 1 liter, you have 1,000 kiloliters. For every 1 milliliter, you have 1,000th of a liter. So if you have 2 liters, you have 2,000 milliliters. We'll explore more of kind of what that looks like going on. So what this would look like is if we have 2 liters, how many milliliters do we have? Well, we can see here that a liter is 1,000 times bigger than a milliliter. So for every 1 liter, we have 1,000 milliliters. So if I have 2 liters, then I know that I have 2,000 milliliters. Volume in the US customary system is going to look a little bit different. Our standard unit of measurement is a gallon. For every 1 gallon, we have 4 quarts. For every 1 quart, we have 2 pints. For every 1 pint, we have 2 cups. And for every cup, we have 8 ounces. So that's kind of the conversion as we're moving through the US customary system. There's also a conversion for tablespoons and teaspoons, but we're not going to use that for our purposes today. So what this would look like is if we have 3 gallons, how many quarts do we have? Well, first we should ask ourselves, if I have 1 gallon, how many quarts do I have? Well, if I have 1 gallon, I have 4 quarts. So since I have 3 gallons, I need to think, well, if 1 gallon has 4 quarts, then for each gallon, I'm going to have 4 quarts. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 gives us 12 quarts, or that can also look like 3 times 4 is 12 quarts.